City to city, state to state, worldwide, we are in the zone, and this is the network.
Hey, welcome to GirlChatSports. This is episode 42.
Yay, welcome back to the United States.
Thank you.
You look very tan.
If you only could see me, I'll post a picture maybe, but I do have a nice tan. I was close to the equator in Cabo, and I don't want to be here. I mean, I want to be here, but I would prefer to do our podcasts maybe from the beach.
Right.
Can we work on that maybe?
Right.
All right, you guys, so just a couple housekeeping real quick. So as of today, we will be going to bi-weekly. So you will not hear from us for another 2 weeks. March 8th, we will be coming back, and we will keep you posted just in case times or anything change, because we do have some scheduling stuff mixing around with our actual real jobs. We'll keep you posted. But for right now, we're going to go bi-weekly. We do love college sports. We do love NBA basketball. We'll get to the Lakers and Steph's Lakers in a little bit. But we want to be able to get a little more time for ourselves, as well as save our energy for football season 2017-18. Anyways, so welcome back. I guess we can just maybe talk about the NFL real quick.
Since there isn't a whole lot going on in the NFL, we do have a lot of drama happening.
DRAMA.
So the Steelers' assistant coach, Joey Porter, is pleading guilty to disorderly conduct and public drunkenness.
Well, yeah, because he had got arrested right before the playoffs.
Yes, so he got in an argument with a bouncer that denied him entrance back into this bar. He
Hashtag guy shit.
Right. Right. He grabbed an officer's wrist. So, yeah, a little trouble going on in the Steelers.
And also, it sounds like Revis Island is sinking fast. So, obviously, Darrell Revis, his whole nickname Revis Island, because he's got, coverage everywhere. Well, he didn't cover too much this last year. And he was recently charged with a felony assault last week following his alleged involvement in a street fight that left 2 men knocked out cold. So, apparently, Revis can hit and hit hard. He was in the hometown of Pittsburgh, where he's from. He had he was charged with 4 felonies, and he returns to court tomorrow. So I guess we'll see what should happen to Mr. Revis.
Man, not only him, but more drama happening around Emmanuel Sanders from the Broncos.
Poor guy.
He's going through a divorce, and apparently he committed quite a bit of adultery with numerous women, spent thousands of dollars on girlfriends, buying them car. Meanwhile, his wife is pregnant. So he apparently used the birth of his child to get out of practice. And in court proceedings, she mentioned that he lied about it just so that he could get out of practice to party.
I mean, here's the deal. Emmanuel Sanders, what the are you thinking? We understand adultery and obviously you sleeping around. I don't understand it, but I get it. Like, it's in the league. Unfortunately, that's kind of comes with the territory sometimes. But then you're going to lie about your own child. Like, that's like putting something on my mama. You're not going to put something on your mama because you know damn well if it's not true, now karma's going to come back and bite you.
Nothing like a woman scorned.
Ooh, she gonna get half that check. Get a girl. Also, in some more unpleasant, in some drama, here's my deal. Michael Floyd, you already know my issue with him. He gets the second DUI. He still gets to play for the rest of the season. He gets kicked off the Arizona Cardinals, immediately picked up by the Patriots, wins the Super Bowl ring. This guy pleads to 1 count of his DUI in Scottsdale last Friday, okay? This was last Friday. The other 6 counts were dismissed.
What?
Yeah, the other 6 counts were dismissed. Get this. Michael Floyd gets sentenced to 120 days in jail, but will serve 96 of them on home restraint. What the Yeah, Michael Floyd he literally is getting slapped on his hand. I hope he gets suspended for the entire season next year without pay, because this is ridiculous. His second DUI. I hope he has a breathalyzer in his car. I hope he has an ankle monitor on. I hope he's got an alcohol monitor on for up until the season starts. Something. This is just crazy. It's crazy.
Don't you get your license taken away after 1 or 2 of those?
I guess your Super Bowl ring can maybe get you out of those kind of
guess
instances.
so.
Who knows? Yeah. Also, Trent Richardson, for a running back, former running back, I think most best known for maybe the Colts, arrested on Friday. Friday was a bad day for people, maybe. Arrested on Friday for a misdemeanor DV in Alabama. Apparently, him and possible girlfriend had gotten into it. So that's interesting. In some more positive or more not drama issues, we've got some trade possibilities, some people that could be released or at least looking into trades. Well, first, the Jags tight end Julius Thomas, he's going to the Dolphins. So I know Tannehill is super excited. And for me, as a fantasy fan and a fantasy football player, Ryan Tannehill's stock's going up because having a huge target and a great target and tight end like Julius Thomas only means more yardage and more touchdowns for Tannehill, who's already been a decent quarterback to have as your backup. So look out for that. Also, Martellus Bennett, another tight end for the Super Bowl championship Patriots. He is said to be dipping his toes into free agency. So I don't know if it's the whole not going to the White House thing or what's making him move away from New England and that team. Maybe he would feel more appreciated somewhere else.
We shall.
I don't know. And then your guy, Tony.
Well, they said that he's willing to massage his contract so that they could find it easier to trade him. But then I've also heard that he'd rather be released with enough time to speak to potential suitors. So we shall see what happens with that.
We'll see where Tony Romo goes. Are you going to follow it all? Are you a Tony fan or just a Cowboy fan?
Sure, I like Tony, but
will you sport a Romo jersey if it's a different team?
Nah.
I hear that, girl. That's good. That's good. Also, Jay Cutler is on the way out. So the Bears are actively looking for a trade for Jay Cutler. I'm not sure who wants him.
No.
I know the Seahawks wouldn't want him. Jay Cutler may have a couple good throws here and there, but the last couple years, his stock has plummeted.
Yeah, they need to find somebody quick.
Yeah, so that's pretty much good. Only other thing is that when we come back to talk with you guys again on March 8th, we'll be able to discuss a little bit about the NFL Combines. That goes on March 3rd through 6th, so we'll get to see some of the those 300-something invitees that got invited to the NFL Combines that'll be coming up. Some college athletes, the guys that'll be going pro this year, and we'll see how they measure up. Literally. And we'll see if there's any more schlong that gets dropped out of some pants. Because I know last year, I can't remember what his name was, but his men's genitalia had flipped out of his shorts while he was doing his 440 or his 40-yard dash. Pretty incredible. Eggplant. Hashtag eggplant. Anyways. Let's talk about the NBA. Because I know Steph is all on it.
Man, there's some major shakeup happening with the Lakers.
You guys know she's a Lakers fan, right? Like a huge Lakers fan. Like as much as I don't like the Lakers, that's as much as she probably loves the Lakers. So go ahead.
So Magic Johnson was hired as president of basketball operations, which means that Jim Buss was removed from his position. In addition to them firing the general manager.
Well, fired by his own sister. Let's say that Jeannie Buss. Let's just say this: Jeannie Buss is a boss. Like her daddy picked the right person to give the throne to, because she literally had to fire her brother. And granted, she probably did it a little too late. It sounds like for most people's interpretations that she should have done it sooner. But they gave Jim a few years to kind of get it together. I think 4 total when he asked for 3. But yeah. So she fired him.
I think the big thing was their failure to land DeMarcus Cousins. I think that had a huge effect on letting them go. They also hired a new general manager, Rob Pelinka, which was a longtime agent for Kobe Bryant. Mm-hmm. And actually, he represents Harden, Gordon, and Trevor Ariza. So they are going to need to find a new agent.
New representation.
So who knows? Like him and Kobe had a good relationship. We'll see where that goes. We also traded Lou Williams to the Rockets for forward Corey Brewer and a 2017 first-round pick.
Well, you guys will need that, that's for sure.
I guess they both make the same amount of money, and and we're going to get a first-rounder, so I guess I'm cool with it.
Yeah, well, I'm excited for Magic. I do like him as a business person. I didn't like him as a player or a Laker. However, I think he will definitely do some good things for the Lakers. I'm the whole Rob Pelinka thing. I'm still on the fence on, but that's neither here nor there. I definitely think them not getting Cousins probably hampered that situation. But I don't know. I think Magic, if he was in it, he probably could have got that deal done. But hey, we can't cry over spilled milk, can we? So
There's still a lot of trade rumors happening. The Bulls are still talking about trading Jimmy Butler, and they're interested in receiving Jay Crowder as part of the potential deal. Butler going to the Celtics, perhaps. And then I'm sure you heard that, DeMarcus Cousins went from the Kings to the Pelicans.
This was like the biggest news. I mean, this basically took over All-Star Weekend. Like, granted, All-Star Weekend was like a 3-day event, but when this trade hit, it was like all you heard from that point on was about the trade. DeMarcus Cousins, Boogie, going to the Pelicans. So now you've got DeMarcus Cousins, Anthony Davis, two big men. Were being related to like a Tim Duncan and David Robinson kind of duo. You've got two big men in the team. I think it's funny because you've got Boogie and Brow. Did you get that? It's funny because I have a friend back home in Seattle. Shout out to Boog. He actually had a nickname, Boogie-Brow. And so it's hilarious now that this whole concept is coming together because, Anthony Davis is known for having the unibrow, and then you've got Boogie with his nickname, which I had to look up because I was like, why is his name Boogie? That doesn't make any sense. So Boogie got his nickname from Coach Rod Strickland. Interesting. At Kentucky, where he whenever he played ball, he had moves that basically that the guards would do. He's a big guy. He's a center, so him playing, playing with moves of a guard, Coach always said, "Man, you got a lot of Boogie." And so every time that DeMarcus walked into the gym, he would say, "What's up, Boogie?" And it just stuck. It's funny because when I was in high school, granted I was not a D1 player or even a professional athlete, I had a nickname in my freshman year of high school and basketball team called the Vulture because also, like Boogie, I fouled out a lot. I fouled out probably half my games, and my coach said that I was a vulture because I would literally just go find people to push over. So what made me think of this was so funny because when I was in Mexico, me and Mom were on a horse ride on the beach. And I look over, and our Mexican tour guide that was with us, or the guy that gave us the horses to ride, he was like, "Oh, look at it, it's a vulture." And I was like, "What? No way!" I hadn't seen a vulture like in person ever. So it got me flashback into basketball nicknames, aka the Vulture, aka Boogie. So that's my little loop back around to real life. And
I was a bench warmer myself.
Hey,
I did a lot of sitting in the game.
It's all good. Hey, we all have our moments. I wasn't great. Let's just say that. I didn't go anywhere. I knew I was going to be a Husky, and I wasn't going to be an athletic Husky, that's for sure. So trade deadline, though, is tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time. So I'm sure we'll have a lot of notifications tonight as well as early in the morning before noon here on the Pacific Coast. It's going to be kind of crazy. We'll see if any other major deals go down. If not, that'll be the end of it until after the season. So we should see how that goes.
Did you catch any of the All-Star game at all?
You know what? After coming back from Mexico, all I wanted to do was listen to sports radio and watch the sports mix on TV. Because literally, there was no ESPN, and if it was soccer related in Mexico, and there was no English-speaking sports, period. Otherwise, I would have probably tried to learn some more soccer, but no. So I did catch up on YouTube and catch up through Instagram and Facebook feeds while I had my Wi-Fi, but that's about it.
The dunk contest was boring.
I heard there was so many people tweeting about how lame it's been.
Well, it potentially was supposed to be good, and everybody failed at their epic dumps.
Yeah, so... And for all of our listeners, I came from an era of Jordan, Wilkins, Spud McKenzie even. I mean, I'll even say someone like, Nate Robinson with the back-to-backs at, champion dunk contest championships, at 5'9". I mean, here's the deal. At some point, there's only so many people that can jump over another human being. Like, I don't want to see you jump over the next 3 people, 4 people. I don't want to see you jump over a car, a bike, a mascot, none of that. I want to see real dunks. I want to see real talent. I want to see real technique between the legs, 360s, around the back, underneath, do a flip. I don't care. The drone thing, I saw that on YouTube. It was like, it took way too long.
Yeah, they tried 4 times. You tried
4 times to get it to work. Yeah, that sounds great and all, but really you just had someone drop it higher. It wasn't like you didn't throw it off the backboard. You didn't have to use your own skill. You literally used a mechanical device to drop a ball for you. I'm not impressed. So my personal opinion is I think the dunk contest needs to get rid of props, get back to its real roots. I'm talking 80s, 90s, maybe early 2000s even. Get back to those days. Save this other stuff for like a sideshow or the Harlem Globetrotters.
During the All-Star game, I love how the announcer said they saved the dunk contest for Sunday night because these boys were dunking in the game.
Yes, I heard. So the game was good.
Well, there was no defense at all. It was just them going down and scoring baskets.
Pretty typical, considering like what was the last year's total was like 368 points for both teams or something.
Anthony Davis showed out to his hometown crowd, 52 points. He shattered Wilt Chamberlain's record of 42 points.
And he was the MVP. Hey, Brow.
And I'm sure that you heard that they were trying to keep apart Westbrook.
So Durant and Westbrook, obviously, we've talked about them all season so far. They've had this rivalry. You know, obviously Durant left for the Warriors. There's been some bad blood. They're on the same team for All-Star week, for All-Star game. And there wasn't much, I guess.
They had to keep them separated in the locker room. They had to keep their media things separate.
But they did have an alley-oop, and that was awesome to see. And I know the whole West Bench crowd went crazy. Steph Curry was tossing up his water. I mean, it was just like, it was a good thing. It was nice to see that no matter what, whether you might still hate each other, when it comes on the court, you're playing and you still know each other. And that's what was nice to see. So it was good. Although in the interviews, I know afterwards, Westbrook was like, it was just a lob. It was just a lob. It's nothing else. It was nothing more than just a lob. Yeah, we get it. Okay, you don't like each other. So anyways, basketball, I'm excited. I'm just looking forward to playoffs. Also, so we reached the halfway point. It's time to keep going. Baseball, spring training started officially last weekend. So there's a lot of people in Arizona and Florida doing a bunch of, coming down from all parts of the country and maybe the world to come take part in seeing some of these guys play live up close and personal. What I thought was interesting, though, is that the commissioner, Rob Sanford for Major League Baseball, he actually said that Las Vegas is a viable market and that, in quotes, we are re-examining our stance on gambling. So who knows, Steph, by maybe 2020, we're going to have football, hockey, baseball. This could be the town.
Bring it.
And pools. Now, we'll get to talking with the girls in a second, but I know for me, I can't wait to have a stadium with a pool in it that I can go to. So if there would be one here in Las Vegas, there is not a better place than Las Vegas to have a pool in your facility.
Agreed.
Yes, and I will bring a floaty and float. So that's about it I think I got for us. We're going to come right back after the commercial break. We're going to talk with Alexandria and Tiffany from SistasInSports, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, be right back.
Palmer Alexander for the In the Zone Sports Show. Want to tell you about our sponsor at Gossip Pasta. Now she's at a new location at 291 Chesterfield Mall Food Court. She's open 7 days a week. Make sure you get in on all of the goodness. And don't forget the food is made with a bunch of love. Only at Gossip Pasta. The food's so good, it'll make you say, Shatorta, give it to him, queen.
City to city, state to state, internationally, Gossip Pastas is always in the zone.
So I know it's going to be tough for you guys getting over it, but just hang on. I know next season hopefully will be great so here's the deal. Are you guys actively, and then Tiffany, I don't know if you had an allegiance before working for Tampa, but I mean, is it just Alex that's kind of the hardcore Falcons fan still, as a, being bred that way, or do you guys have another allegiance?
Yeah, my family's from Tampa, so I'm from. I pretty much claim Tampa.
Okay.
I'm kind of a military brat, but I claim Tampa. I'm from Tampa. Was raised a Tampa fan, so it's interesting because, of course, with Atlanta being our division rivals, when Alex came on the scene in the office, this purebred Falcons fan,
right.
I had to accept her, but it's been good. We tease each other throughout the season, and of course, it was always good this season in particular because we had gone up there together for the season opener,
right.
and Bucks took on the Falcons, and the Bucks won, and it was good, but I was also in their territory, so I was like, all right, cool.
We can understand that. Melissa and I can understand that because I'm a Cowboys fan, and she's just a hater. So you know how that goes.
You definitely get it.
Yeah, we butt heads often during the season, so.
At least we both had a little something to brag about for a short period of time this season.
Yeah, very, very short period of time. Yeah. So we understand rivalry. And that's awesome. What about, as far as some of the great interviews maybe that or people that you've taught, I've read some of the articles you guys have. You have definitely talked with a lot of wonderful women that are either, like you mentioned in your bios, is either on the field or off the field. Is there somebody that stands out to you that's been like an awesome person in or off the field in sports? Someone that you've had the pleasure of speaking with or meeting that kind of stands out in your head?
Yeah. Alex, do you want to give yours?
Yeah.
No, I was going to say we probably each have our our individual ones. I know she'll probably talk about. Tanita, one of my favorite ones is one of the ones that we did in the beginning. Her name is Tina, and I love her story because we worked with her when we were both with the Buccaneers, and she's somebody that you literally watched her career grow. She started, as an intern, and she worked with the Tampa Bay Lightning, the hockey team here, worked with the Rays, she worked with Fox Sports Desk. She did all of these different things, and then she went up to Washington, was doing, producing over there with the Wizards, and now she's over on the West Coast. So I like hers because I think it really gives a good story of the journey and all the different places that you will have to go, as many people kind of think I'm just there and I'll be there forever, but she's a good example of I had a goal and I continued to go until I got there. So I like her story. So I think it's really realistic that a lot of people could gain some insight or encouragement from, rather.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say for me personally, Tanita Stevenson, which we did in October, that's probably been my favorite one because she at the time was working with the Southern, I want to get this right, the SEAC, which is the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference.
Okay.
So she was my favorite one because that focuses on a lot of HBCUs, and for those that don't know what that is, historically black colleges and universities, which I'm an alumni of. As a Howard University graduate, a lot of our alumni don't, go to the league, to be completely honest. So you get people from the league, from SEC schools and ACC and all of that, but your smaller conferences like the SEAC and the SWAC and the MEAC, a lot of us historically black colleges athletes don't make it to the league. And what she did was she was a commissioner for that league, so she put on the conference championships. And I just thought the way she advocated as an HBCU alum and went back and worked for the conference level that works with those schools, I think that's powerful because you talk about when it comes to giving back to your alumni and because I believe she went to Delaware State, which is in the MEAC, but still as an HBCU grad, there's so few of us and so many athletes come from those schools. We have to stick together and really go back to those conferences to really try to make our conferences known across nationally, So hers was probably my favorite because I think the way she advocated for HBCUs is very important, and we need more of that. So she's probably my favorite, probably a little biased because I'm a Howard alumni grad, but I think her and her dedication to her cause was pretty awesome.
Well, I love it. I mean, I obviously wasn't an HBCU alum myself, but I did go to Alabama A&M homecoming one year. One of my girlfriends,
Yay! That's what my
yes.
mom graduated.
So I was hanging out in Mobile, Alabama. That was definitely entertaining. I loved it, and I can't wait to go back again. But I do have friends that graduated from Howard as well, so I know that's very. I mean, I think just that story in itself is excellent. Having that standpoint, being able to take that stance and help out those people, help out people that are in the same circumstances to do better, go farther, and especially in their careers and stuff too. That's awesome. So let's turn a page a little bit to sports. I mean, I know we don't want to touch too much on the NFL in regards to kind of the Super Bowl, but what is it you guys, is there other sports that you guys enjoy? Is there some stories that you'd like to cover in regards to women in sports on or off the field, or anything in particular that you're hoping to do in the future?
Yeah, well, we've been working with or connecting with a lot of other women outside of some of the major leagues. I think Alex was able to connect with one of her friends that started a company called Afro Swimmers, and she is a swim coach that promotes, and she's a swim coach that teaches everybody how to swim, but she has a kind of an emphasis and a promotion for African American swimming, and trying to take down some of those biases that either you don't know how to swim, you shouldn't learn how to swim, or that you can't learn how to swim. And just promoting it and showing positive imagery of, African American swimming, and it sounds something so simple, but it's not something that a lot of people do see. And I think it's so innovative, and that's what I love about the power of social media, is that you can tell your own story, and it resonates with a lot of different people, and that's how that's how we've been connecting with each other through SistasInSports, is through social media.
Love it.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's funny because I guess after football, my next would be basketball. Although it's going to sound bad, but I'm a Hawks supporter, but I didn't grow up as a Hawks fan, but I like to always see them do well. So, but I really don't watch basketball until the playoffs. So
yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. I hear you. I feel kind of similar about college basketball. I usually don't watch until March Madness. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to watch 80 professional games and then it don't matter. So I get into March Madness. I don't have a college team, but I think the passion of college players is just a whole lot different than pros. So I enjoy watching them, and the games are always fast paced. But I guess taking off of basketball, one of the posts that we did today, which I think is awesome, was potentially for the 2018 Winter Olympic Games. On our post today was off the first Nigerian bobsled team.
Love those ladies.
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen their little dance video. I loved it.
They're so neat, and I think that's so cool. So they're basically started a GoFundMe and put together this bobsled team, and their goal is to get to the 2018 Winter Olympics. And the fun thing is we tagged her in, and she liked it and she commented. So it's just amazing the power of social media and how a simple hashtag or a tag truly connects people. And I'm going to be interested to see, their story, and hopefully in the future, crossing our fingers, maybe we can get them on there soon. But the fact that we were able to connect with her just by shouting them out is history. And, I'm excited to see where they go. But just the power of what we're trying to do in our social media, even the fact that we've connected with you all.
I know, right?
You're not crazy?
I know. Because I will be hitting you guys up when I make it to Florida. I'm just saying.
Come on now.
Right? Isn't it your guys' baseball team that has the swimming pool, or does the Tampa Bay field still have it too? Or am I thinking?
The Rays have. Jacksonville Jaguars, the football team, has a swimming pool, and don't the Rays have a pool with stingrays in it, Tiffany, or something like that? I don't know.
All I know is that my goal for 2018 is to be on a field, in the pool, on a floaty. I don't care if it's baseball, football. I don't care. It's going to happen this year. I can feel it.
That's a beautiful goal, and we're here for it. I will get it on camera if you need me to. I won't be in the water. But I got you.
Hey, it's all good.
Tell us a little about Jameis Winston. I like how he's the leader of the team and they all respect him.
Yeah, Tiffany, you want to do that one? Bucks fan? Did we lose her? Where's Tiffany? I don't know. Did we lose Tiffany?
Hello?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, he's been great since he got here. When he was first introduced to the team, he literally came around the entire business side of the office and shook all of our hands along with the rookie class. He's always been a really exceptional person, in terms of his attitude, his mentality, of course, when he's in the office, and just the things that he's done kind of even silently in the community here for the youth. I know a little bit over the summer, or no, was it this summer? Yeah, it was last summer. He was, playing kickball and stuff with people at the local park, just kind of unannounced. So I think that he's really connected with the Tampa Bay community, and he's definitely a leader. Everybody always talks about he commands the room when he walks in, and even the veterans, look up to him and have such a high regard for who he is and how much he wants to win. So
Awesome.
I read an article today that he's reaching for a Deshaun Jackson, so maybe that'll happen because he's asking.
I've heard that one. It was another one I'd heard too. There's a whole bunch of names going around, so
I'm sure he'd like a few more targets to hit at, so.
Yeah.
I guess. I guess.
Well, ladies, we're going to wrap it up with you. I really appreciate you coming by and joining us. I definitely want to talk with you more so, probably if we can hook back up maybe preseason talk, that'd be awesome if your nights aren't too busy then. But if you can, give our listeners where they can find you, if it's social media, whether Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. If you have your handles, do you feel free to share it?
Sure. Well, we are on SistasInSports.com. That's with an AS, not an ER, so don't get it confused. So SistasInSports.com is where you can find all of our stories. At SistasInSports on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I guess for my personal one, you can find me at Shawty Low, rest in peace, which was inspired by my Instagram and Twitter persona.
Love it.
HOLTYLO. My last name is Holt, so Shawty Low. That's my my Instagram and Twitter. So holla at your girl.
Yes.
So yes, you can find me as well at SistasInSports. I'm on Instagram. I post more about SistasInSports than I do for my personal.
Sure.
So you can also find me on Twitter, where I share a lot of stories, not only about what we're doing at SistasInSports, but just about like personal branding and sponsorships and like cool things going on in sports. And that is at Sculpt Creative. So that's Twitter.com/Sculpt SCULPT Creative.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for staying up with us. We know you're on the East Coast, so we appreciate it. And have a great night.
Thank you.
Yes, you too.
So before we wrap up our episode today, I just want to have a little hometown love segment, okay? I read the most awesome article on Bleacher Report today from a young man in Seattle area. He interviewed and spoke with and covered a whole story in regards to Brandon Roy, who I'm sure most of you know as being a University of Washington Husky standout basketball player, as well as NBA star for the Portland Trailblazers. He was a Rookie of the Year. He was a great athlete. He did face a lot of knee injuries and injuries that kept him from probably excelling as much as he probably could, or as long as he could. He retired after 6 years back in 2011, 2012 during that short season of the lockout, and has kind of been under the radar. Well, he kind of always kept in regards to basketball and the local Seattle basketball scene. And come to find out, this last summer, he was hired as Nathan Hale. It's a local high school there in the Seattle area, as the Nathan Hale's men's basketball head coach. So Brandon Roy, 32, is now the head coach of Nathan Hale. They have not won a state tournament since 1994. This team has never been that great. There's some great high schools, just like here in Las Vegas. We have Bishop Gorman, Findlay Prep. I mean, we've got great high schools here. Just like Seattle, there are some great high schools that are known for their basketball teams, known for their sports. Nathan Hale isn't one of them. They went from a 3-18 season last year to now being number one in the nation. They are the number one high school in the nation, and that is because he was brought on as a head coach, and literally transfers started flooding in. He's got I forgot the guy's name. They've got a couple brothers that came on. Oh yeah, Michael Porter Sr., who actually is the assistant coach for Romar at the Huskies basketball program. He brought on his son Michael Jr. and their younger brother. These guys are both going to be massive stars and athletes. They've even talked about them if they were able to skip college like they could back in the day, that they would easily be able to go, especially Michael Jr. Anyways. With those guys coming over, the Porter brothers, as well as other transfers, they've got about 7 guys that transferred over, and they literally are number 1 in the nation.
That's amazing.
And they're going to, most likely, as long as they hopefully win state, they'll be making it over to the Dick's Sporting Goods High School Nationals, which are the end of March 30th to April 1st in New York. It brings all the top high schools around the high school teams, as well as just kind of like AAU high school teams as well around the nation brought together. Hale is number 1. And actually, Finley Prep here in Las Vegas, well, Henderson technically, they're number 6. So I'm actually this will be my first time trying to watch the Dick's Sporting Goods Nationals, but it's usually on ESPN, and I'm definitely looking forward to it because I know Brandon Roy is the head coach. He's even got some of his guys that he played ball with for the Huskies on his coaching staff. So really looking forward to that. That would be very cool.
I love it. And then our moment.
Yeah.
Some NBA greats, both past and present, raised $500,000 for the Sager Strong Foundation in the 3-point shootout. They initially rang up $130,000 worth of contributions, and then added a $10,000 for each 3-pointer that was made. Also, Steph Curry had a chance to nail a half-court shot, which would have been $370,000, but he tried and tried and tried and couldn't make it. So it was actually really sweet that in the end, Shaquille O'Neal brought Craig Sager's son, Ryan, out of the audience and helped him cap it off with a really sweet layup.
That was really sweet. And it was really cool to see. I mean, Reggie Miller came out of the audience, which is cool because we all know Reggie was huge for 3-pointers back in the day. James Harden came out. DeRozan was there. Anthony Anderson, Tyree Irvin. DJ Khaled even made a 3-pointer.
Michael B. Jordan. Can I say how amazing this guy is? But also, Craig Sager was named the 2017 recipient of the Basketball Hall of Fame Kurt Gowdy Media Award for electronic media, so I thought that was very sweet that he won this award.
That. Oh, sounds awesome. Well, you guys, that has been it for us and episode 42. Again, we will be going bi-weekly from here on out. We will keep you posted on that. Make sure you follow us at GirlChatSports on all social media, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook. You can go ahead and find Steph
at S_wash.
on all social media, right?
Yep.
And you can find me, Melissa, at Seattle, 4_life. And just so you know, I am raised in Seattle but reside in Las Vegas. There's been some confusion to my handle being Seattle for life. It just means that I will always love Seattle, and especially my Seahawks. So that's it for us, you guys. We will catch you in a couple weeks. Take care. Be safe.
Thanks.
Thanks for checking out another great episode of Girl Chat Sports. And remember, we don't have balls, but we know how to cover them. Until next time, guys.